All right, we are back. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday to everyone, whoever has a chance to hop on today with me. I appreciate you all. Check my stuffs. Think everything's looking good. Stream health and YouTube is fine. Twitch is looking good. All right, everything's good. Oh, I should move this up a little bit. All right, I think that's good. So, you all know the drill. We just usually go through all of the shows that I watched this week, talk about any news that popped up this week. Obviously, the big one today, the Our Flag Means Death trailer dropped, so I have it. And later on in the stream, I'm going to watch it again. I've only watched it once for the when I did the reaction. That's on the page. I don't think I could link it during live, but yeah, I only watched it once. And then I just went straight to Twitter to read all of your like fan theories and stuff. And you all are so smart and it's so cool. But like I said, I need to watch it again. So a little bit later, I'm going to watch it and I'm going to play it for you to watch as well. You should be able to see it and hear it. I tested it. I think it works, but we'll find out. Hey, Matthew, how's it going? Happy Thursday. So yeah, that's basically what we do. And at any point, you could obviously ask me questions. I'm always checking the chat and I usually stop. I'm scatterbrained. I'll stop during what I'm talking about and answer a question. But so this week we have obviously, as usual, Community, Atlanta, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Starting in 3 weeks, we'll have Community, Atlanta on Wednesdays, Brooklyn Nine-Nine on Thursdays, and then Our Flag Means Death. The first 3 episodes come out on a Thursday. So my plan is to watch all 3 on Thursday when they come out. Try to get my reaction up Thursday, I'm guessing afternoon. I don't know what time they drop for like episode 1. Then get episode 2 out Friday and episode 3 Saturday or Sunday. That's the plan. If I could get more than 1 out on Thursday, I'll do it. Might be a little bit difficult, but I'll always have the full watch along though on Patreon. So I will open my Gentleman Pirates tier on Patreon, which is $3 per month, and you'll be able to watch the full watch alongs on Patreon. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We had the Aquaman trailer today. That's kind of crazy that Warner Brothers dropped Aquaman the same day as Our Flag Means Death. I don't know. Were they trying to have one outshine the other? Judging by the people who have been watching my reactions, way more have watched my Our Flag Means Death than Aquaman. So looks like the pirates have outshone the actual fish. So, all right, let's see what we have today. Starting with Community. Where are we? Okay, so I put up, which means last week I watched season 2, episode 21, Paradigms of Human Memory. If you saw my reaction, you also saw I botched that word. I said paradigms. I guess it's the first time I've ever seen that word because I did not know how to pronounce it. All in all, another great episode. 2 things that Community does ridiculously well to me: holiday episodes and bottle episodes. Because this was basically a bottle episode, and I think they had like 2 in a row. Let me see. I don't know if it was this one and the last one, or this one and next week's. Critical Film. I can't even find it. No, yeah, it's next week's was also, I believe, a bottle episode. So in this episode, really the main thread throughout the whole entire episode was them finding out, well, Abed finding out that Britta and Jeff are having secret sex, basically. And leave it to Abed. He knows how to figure these things out, and he did. But throughout this, they're arguing about how they're more, selfish, and they kind of put themselves above the rest of the gang. So they talk about some of their, older, well, not episodes, because they weren't technically episodes, but they talk about the past things that have happened to use as examples. And it really reminded me of the Golden Girls. I know that ages me, but I'm sure everyone watches that. But Golden Girls were famous for bottle episodes like this, where they just do flashbacks and stuff. So it was kind of cool. It reminded me of that. My favorite of the flashbacks that I would want to see as an episode probably was when they said they went to that Wild West town. That looked interesting. I would have definitely liked to see that as an episode, though. What was that other one? The St. Patrick's Day. Also, I would have liked that because I love their holiday episodes. And so far, I think they've only done Halloween, Christmas, and I think they did Valentine's Day. Yeah, they do Valentine's Day. But I don't think they did St. Patrick's Day, unless it's just like out of my mind since I've only watched every episode once. But pretty much that's the whole plot. And then the funny thing is when they were saying like how people could notice they were doing it, and then they did that little montage of like Britta and Jeff giving each other the eye, or Abed literally walking in on them and them saying, I forgot what they said, something about St. Patrick's Day leprechauns, you know. But then Jeff said something like, oh, well, you could do the same for Abed and Pierce. And there's like one scene of Pierce giving Abed change, and then Abed noticing that Pierce's fly was down. And he's like, not even close to the same thing. But that was really funny. But there wasn't really too much in this episode, so I don't think I'll talk for 25 minutes about it like I usually do. Because most of the episodes, there's like a lot going on. But this one, I don't really remember too much besides the main plot point of that. And also, I believe this is the episode, sorry, that Annie's boobs came back and Chang went into the vent and saw all the stuff that that the little monkey took into the vent, especially those purple pens, and Britta called that out, so that was cool. What else? I think that's pretty much all for the community episode. Yeah, there really wasn't too much going on there, but it was good. I'll come back to it if I can think of anything. I'll just move on and then, circle back. All right, so that's the Monday reaction. And then the Wednesday reaction, which was yesterday, Atlanta. And yesterday was the season 3 finale. Woo, boy. So season 3, as of now, is my favorite season. And I've said it a few times in my reactions. The reason being is I enjoy shows, obviously, like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, etc., etc. They're really good shows that I enjoy, and it's hard to pick the best season. And that's because typically, a character arc or a group of people's total arc usually finishes like at the end of the series. So then you have to really think about what you watched. But for me, Atlanta, season 3, I feel like their arc not ended, but the tension in their arc ended after season 2, because season 3, and I'm beating a dead horse, I say this 1,000 times, season 3 is basically just them living their life, and I love it because they have money now. He's successful now. Ern is doing his thing now. He's his manager. Like, there's no question about that. Darius is still there. The only thing that was sad for me this season was there wasn't a lot of Vanessa. She wasn't in, I don't even know how many episodes she was in, because you have to subtract the spin-off episodes that they did where none of them are in it. So subtract those, and then you get to the other ones, and Vanessa wasn't in many of them. So I was really happy when I saw that this episode was going to be 100% about Vanessa. So when the girls are talking at the little cafe and one of them recognizes her, I immediately knew that it was just going to be about her. And I was like really happy and giddy, not knowing where this episode was going to go. But shout out to, I think it was D. Lawrence on YouTube, and you always give me great information that I don't know, but you're the one who told me that girl was in the episode that they were at Drake's house at his party. And I never pick up stuff like that. So that's really cool that they brought her back to tie it together. But anyways, we see them in a bakery, and I don't remember what she was saying because you can't really hear her conversation with the person behind the counter, but you see she has a baguette in her bag. So you just immediately think that, all right, she must have been in there for a little bit and she already purchased what she wanted. but it was sticking out of her bag. So that made me question, like, why is a baguette in her bag? And I think I said it like 3 or 4 times as she's walking the bag baguette or whatever. Even her friends in the show mention it. And, what a dark turn it takes halfway between the episode when you find out what that baguette is for. But although it was a great episode as far as an episode going, it was hard to see her going through so much trauma. And you don't get to that point until the end of the episode. So as it's progressing, you could only really think to yourself that she's like snapped or she's gone crazy or something happened and she's pretending to be somebody else. There's so many things that go through your mind, and it's impossible to pinpoint it until she says it. But then like the minor B plot, and I wouldn't consider it a B plot, but since they play it out at the end, it technically is her friend is in France to pee on some guy who's going to pay her $6,000. I'm guessing they're going to do more than that. Like, I'm sure he's supposed to take her out to dinner, etc., etc. But the main thing is she's supposed to go there and pee on him. So that's pretty funny. So we see her in the bakery, and when she sees her friend, she's talking with a French accent. So that's at the point I said, something's up here. I'm sure everybody did. It's like not hidden. Her hair is shorter, and she's talking with an accent. So basically, again, it's a day in the life of Vanessa. So she tells her friends, she has a busy day. She has to do a lot of things, but they're more than welcome to hang out with her. So first they go to the apartment. She like plants drugs in that dude's bed, calls the cops on him, which I still don't know why she did that. I'm guessing, I don't know. It's probably something obvious that I missed. But anyway, they leave. And then she goes, because she has to pick up a package. And this was good because her friends and the audience, me, I immediately thought she was dealing drugs. Like, whenever you hear, oh, I have to pick up a package, I'm going to a drop, it's usually drugs. And then there is a little like igloo cooler in there, and she opens it and nothing's in there. And now in hindsight, when you look back, when you first watch it, you do think it's drugs. But when you get to the end and you see what was in there, then you realize why they used the cooler, because what was in there needed ice to stay fresh. And I don't want to say what was in it now. I'll just get to the end and then, circle back on the cooler. But it wasn't there. So she got enraged and she had to go see another guy at a museum or an art expo. And she gets there, and this is where the baguette comes in. She is talking to someone, and it sounds like this is the guy who was supposed to leave it in the cooler. And he's scared. Like, when she walks in to see him, he is frightened. Like, he's scared, like he shit himself. And this is when I'm like, she must have been doing this for a while. Like, she couldn't have just been doing this for a couple of weeks. Why would someone be scared of her? She would have had to build up a reputation for this. But he was like shaking and sweating, and he didn't have what she needed, and he didn't sound like he was going to give it to her. So she was talking about what would happen to a baguette if you left it out for a day, 2 days, a week, 6 months, something like that. And obviously in my head, I'm thinking it would get stale as shit, right? And she uses it as basically a crowbar and beats the living hell out of this guy with a stale baguette. And it's really, the way they shot it was great to me, because you only see the rage in her face. You don't see her hitting him. You could hear the sound effects, but you could only see her face. So pulling back and hitting. But the first time you see something where you realize the impact is when she stops and puts it on her shoulder, and you see the tip of it has blood. So she beat him so hard that he was bleeding. And then you see his face, and he's like really messed up. So I'm like, is she in the mafia or something? And then again, you think it has to be drugs. You're not going to find somebody to threaten them and basically break their legs, something minor. So he says, I think that it's in one of the statues. So she tells her friend to get it, and it's a bag, right? So she gets what she wants. And I'm going really fast with this. So after that, again, she says, there's going to be a party. I think you're welcome to join. So they go somewhere else. And where do they go now? They get to a restaurant and they get into the kitchen, and that's her boyfriend. And she mentions that earlier in the episode too, that she met her boyfriend in France working in the kitchen. And, her friend is still trying to figure out what the hell's going on with her and get to the bottom of it. And she's still acting normal, like nothing's changed. And what happens after that? Well, they have that back and forth where Vanessa is basically telling her, like, who are you to, like, judge me? Like, do you feel this way because you're the one who always has to be, like, the center of attention, and you always have to be in control, and you can't control my life, and that upsets you. So they had a little falling out there. But the host invited them to eat, so they go off. The other two friends, they're at the dinner table, and her main friend is still with her in the kitchen. And when they're in there, this is the big reveal of what the hell is in that freaking bag. It's a human hand. So the reveal was perfect, because if they would have just showed it, in the art exhibit, like, oh, it's a hand. Why do you have a hand? Like, you have to wait and wait to figure out what's the deal with this hand. But when it's revealed in a kitchen, you know why it's there. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're treating it like a chicken cutlet. And that's like the big thing there. I guess it's an event in France. They have everyone, a whole bunch of people, I'm guessing really, really wealthy people at a table. And they have to wear a veil. And she says it's like not to be embarrassed. It's just so you could be one-on-one with your meal. And so the two friends are at the table. They have it over so they can't see it, but they like cut away and they come back. And when you come back, you see like the fried hand on the plate, and one of the fingers is cut, and you hear them chewing. And so you know that they ate it, which is disgusting, because the way they showed it, they put egg like just on the hand. They didn't look like they took the bones out or anything. Ugh. So they eat it, and then one of them actually lifts the veil, and they see it's a hand, and not to anyone's surprise, they're basically throwing up and they leave. And after that, it just cuts, because Vanessa kind of has a mental breakdown in the restaurant, and then it cuts to them at the park, her and her best friend, or the girl there that knew her from Atlanta, and they're really having a heart-to-heart. And basically, she says she thinks she's a horrible mother, because one, like Paperboy, Darius, Ern, even Lottie, they all know who they are. She says, like, everyone knows who they are. And this made me think, because this happens to a lot of people. When you get a little bit depressed, you think about like successful people or your friends, and you say, like, so and so, look at them, or look at them, they're so successful, they got their whole life like settled, like, and look at me, like, I'm not doing great. But you have to realize, in the case of like Ern and Paperboy and all of them, yeah, they're doing good now. But season one, like, the best example is that episode where Ern goes to the concierge, because he like nicked his Apple Watch. He wanted to know where there was an Apple store, because he was just going to go buy a new one, basically. Season 1, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if he had $100, like, he would make that $100 last as long as he could. He was living in a freaking storage unit so he could give all the rest of his money to his kid and Vanessa. So 3 seasons, I think it takes place over 3, 4, 5 years. Like, yeah, Ern knows who he is. Like, he always knew what he wanted to do, but he didn't just wake up one day and he was the successful guy. Paperboy didn't just wake up, one day and he's a successful rapper with all this money that actually you see in season 4. episode 1. Now he has an Escalade, so he's making even more money. So it's just something that Vanessa like projecting on herself, that everyone is successful and they've always been successful, and she doesn't know who she is. So yeah, that made me feel bad because she's a great mom, but then she mentions how the reason why she's in Amsterdam, which I always wondered, I thought initially that, she didn't go, initially, but she knew they were there. So I figured she was like, hey, I have some time, let me go visit them. But it turns out she was driving. Basically, she fell asleep, woke up on the other side of the road, got back on course, but then sat down and thought, like, what the hell is wrong with me? Like, when she went to pick up her daughter, she just basically thought, like, like, what's going on? Like, I didn't really even care enough to stay awake. Like, am I spiraling? And she put it in a way where it feels like she was kind of blacked out already, because she said she bought a ticket to Europe and she ended up in Amsterdam. It's like she didn't even plan to go there. It was just something she went on like, I thought maybe she went on the computer, found the cheapest flight or the quickest flight or something, but it didn't even seem like she even planned it that well. It was just she was having this freak out moment and left, and that's why she was there. And then at the end, and Atlanta does it, I think, better than a lot, where this is a really deep episode, and especially this moment at the end where you like feel so bad for her, but you're happy that she's kind of snapped out of it, and she's ready, it seems, to go home and be with her family and her daughter. Then they cut to the other friend, and you see a guy knock on the door. The guy answers it, and it's I think it was the friend, I don't remember her name. There was two. I don't even think they only said it a couple of times, and I have a horrible memory. But the girl who was Vanessa's main friend, she was the one who was there to pee on the guy. But she was a really good friend where she needed to be with Vanessa, so she sent the other girl to go to the guy's house. So when the knock is on the door, it's the other friend, and she actually goes there to pee on the guy. And that's how the season ends. And I don't know how they go from that moment of Vanessa on the bench. Sorry, there's a mosquito in here. Damn. From her on the bench, like really, really a deep, sympathetic scene to a hilarious way to end it. And that was it. So yeah, I was really happy that we got an episode that was dedicated only to Vanessa, but it was hard to see her go through all of that. But I'm glad she came out on the other side. And then I watched the first episode of season 4. That's on Patreon already. And again, it's amazing, it's hilarious, and it seems like they're picking right up from season 3, where it's gonna be a day in the life of this group. But I hope that the main four are in more episodes together, and they were in episode 1. Paperboy, Ern, Darius, and Vanessa were all in this episode, so I was happy. But we'll talk about that next week. Let's see, just tuned in? I'm gonna watch this while I'm doing the new Mortal Kombat. Oh, I heard Mortal Kombat 1 came out today. Andre, greetings from, Cali, Colombia. Greetings, Andrea. Oh, Andre, sorry, the computer's far and my LASIK must be failing. Jay, what's going on? How is everybody? Everything is well. Is everything good with you? Because I hit you up on Discord, but I haven't heard from you, so I hope everything's good. All right. What time is it? 8:24. Okay, I got through 2 shows in 20 minutes this time. Today's drop was Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Season 1, Episode 7. Man, this show is so good. This one was 48 hours. So this was another kind of a bottle episode. Nothing too crazy with this one, besides Peralta arrests someone that he's arrested in the past, but he does it basically illegally without any evidence. And 48 hours. What I originally thought it was going to be was like those crime shows where someone gets abducted. The first 48 hours are the most important to find them, but in this case, It is, I guess, if you arrest someone under these kinds of pretenses, you could only hold them for 48 hours without evidence until you have to release them. So Jay said, feeling better. I'll message you later for sure. I forgot my notifications off. We need more Brooklyn Nine-Nine for sure. Hell yeah. So um, basically, he screws the whole department and they all have to stay for 48 hours because Captain Holt makes a good point. Like they want to get this over with. They do not want to let this guy out, even though they're basically profiling him because he was a criminal. Like they don't want to let him out because they want to make this arrest because technically they're profiling him. So that he wants everyone in the precinct to stay to get it done. All hands on deck. And yeah, so basically they're going back and forth and it's just silliness, like him trying to get him to confess. Basically like 15 minutes of comedy until the very end. But the thing that hurt me the most was, and they're doing a good job of establishing Peralta as like not like an asshole, though he can be sometimes, just like self-centered, where Amy is all dressed up because she has a date that night, and who's the one who screws it up? Peralta. But at the end of the episode, he makes good on his promise, and he calls the guy because I guess in the Brooklyn Nine-Nine world, if you're dating a gorgeous police officer and she can't make a date because of police work, you're never going to talk to her again. Like, that's crazy. I'm just talking, if I was, whatever, 10 years ago when the show took place, I'm in my 30s or my late 20s, however old these characters are. If that's who I had a date with, no shot that I'm not understanding that situation. Like Amy or Rosa, like, come on, buddy. But anyways, he had to call the guy and, explain it to get her the date back. But he did, so that was cool. I think this was also the episode with the pies. I get them confused. Let me just check real fast. I have to read my own description. Was it the one with the pies? I have to look. Let me check the episode list. And I should have brought my keyboard. I'm over here. Brooklyn Nine-Nine Season 1. All right. 7. Was this one the one with the pies or was Old School? Yeah, no, I watched Old School today and that one's on Patreon. Yeah, Gina and Rosa have a pie contest. It wasn't, oh yeah, it was. Sorry, now I'm like going off on a tangent. Yeah, so I also like the little plot with the pies. One, it was funny, and it's something that if you live in New York or you're from New York like I am, it's just something we argue about. Who has the best pizza? Who has the best cheesecake? Who sells the best pies? Like, it's just something we do. I'm sure they do it everywhere. But in New York, we get obnoxious about it because you won't take anyone's word for it. So as Gina and Rosa are going back and forth on who has the best pie, and Charles is in the middle of it because Gina wants him to pick hers, but he's not going to because obviously he's in love with Rosa, so he picks hers, even though it's disgusting. You could tell by his face, but that's not the part that I really liked. The part that I liked is that seven episodes into season 1, this was the first time that Charles basically like stood up for himself, because I mean, we all do this. Usually it's when we're a teenager. Anything a girl that you like, or if you're a girl or whoever, a person that you like, you'll do whatever to get their attention, to kind of get them to like you back. So if they say, hey, Charles, which is the best pie? Of course Charles is going to pick Rose's because he said it himself. He wants her to like him. But Gina makes a really good point. Is like, it's not a great way to, it's not a great first impression to a woman if you're lying to them, you know, just because you want her to like you. So at the end, I like that he actually comes back and he basically like, you two sit down. Your pies are terrible. Like, this is the best pie in New York City, the one that I actually like, the one that I eat. And this is fact. And he sits them down, they both taste it, and they both agree. So I was really happy that Charles stood up for himself. Hmm. Jay said, man, Charles is one heck of a character. He's the Dwight of the office. uh, he's it's funny because as I watch more television, I start to see trends and characters. Like, yeah, Dwight, Charles. He also reminds me a little bit of Jerry from Parks and Rec, Jerry Gergich. They're all three very similar. I don't think Dwight got made fun of by everybody. I wouldn't know. I didn't watch The Office, but from like clips that I see, I think he's just his personality is off-putting to people. And of course, Jim always makes fun of him, teases him. But like Charles and Jerry, like they're just the butt of everyone's jokes usually. But the dynamic that I like so far in Brooklyn Nine-Nine is Rosa it seems to appreciate Charles as a person and a friend, even though Charles is like romantically likes her. She has a personality where she she won't like just ignore him because he does, but she won't lead him on. Like even when she agrees to go to dinner with them, and I think it's the one that I just posted today. So, but it's no spoiler. It's a 10-year-old show. She basically is like, let's go, let's go out to eat tonight. And he's like, yes. And he's like, she says, oh, my boyfriend's coming. And I said it in my, like my breakdown when I was talking about it. I feel like, and I might be crazy, if I invite someone to dinner, like, I don't know, if I were single, it was a woman and I knew they liked me, but I liked them as a friend, and it was just us two, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Are we friends? Maybe we could be, but if I'm going out with like my girlfriend and I invite somebody out, like you're not going to just invite a random person out if you're going out with your spouse. Like you have to really consider that person a good friend. So I think that's a good sign. And that I think happens in the episode I watched today. But I do like that dynamic, whereas in Parks and Rec, everybody makes fun of Jerry. And then in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, everyone really teases Charles, but Rosa deep down, I think she really does like him as a really good friend. Because he is a person who, even though he does like her like that, he does seem like he would be a really good friend as well. So that's that. So those are the three shows that I watched. We did a few reactions. The Kind Assassin did a reaction video to the trailer for the fall of the House of Usher. That's a show that not that I'm not interested in it, but I'm not a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan. I don't read. I'm very uncultured. But she's been into Edgar Allan Poe since she was a teenager. Like she's read all the books. She's reading some of these consolidated stories. So if you have time, you could check out her reaction. It's really good. It all depends on how much time she has. She may either do reactions to the episodes or reviews like she's doing for Ahsoka. And I know she's a couple episodes behind, but we've been really busy, so she might just knock those two out at the same time. What else do we got? Yeah, that leads us to today pretty much. Jay said, Edgar Allan Poe, guy was super unhappy his entire life, it seems. I need to do some research because I'm not like too sure. Oh, Jay, if you could see, I know I'm pretty far, you could probably see this says Screen Sanctum. It's part of some of the merch that I'm trying to create when I'm bored, but I put it in the community font. I think it came out okay, but not as nice as the other shirt. So I don't know if I'm going to put this one up to sell, but it's pretty neat. It's just hard to see like the bottom. Anyways, screen, yeah, trying my best. So yeah, that leads us to today. We had the Aquaman trailer and the Our Flag Means Death trailer. Who makes the shirt? It is this place called, I'll tell you right now. I just have to open, where is it? Sorry, I'm all over the place. It is fourthwall.com. So I just sign up for an account with Fourth Wall. Basically, they have all the clothes, the bags, the hats, the mouse pads, like everything, they have it. You pick something, and all you do is upload your image that you have. You put it where you want, pick the colors. You could pick like what kind of, whatever this is called, like lettering. Like this one is a thinner, I don't know, rubber. So it kind of feels like it's part of the shirt, but it's not as vibrant. And then the other one I got, I forgot what it's called, but it's like a thicker one. Most really good shirts are made that way. And that one, like the colors pop. And one of the videos this week I did, it's like a yellowish shirt and it just says Screen Sanctum on it. That one, I redid my whole shop to make all of my shirts have that. And also the quality of those shirts are better. Like this is a really thin t-shirt and those are, they're like 100% cotton, so they're really nice. So it's called Fourth Wall. But yeah, the Aquaman trailer was cool. I watched it once, and not that it was underwhelming when I say I don't remember much about it. But it was so fast. I just remember it looked really good. Aquaman looks dope. I enjoyed the first Aquaman. The guy who plays his brother, he was the villain in the first one, like the main villain. He's back. It looks like he's going to be fighting with them. And it kind of reminded me of Thor and Loki, where it took them a while to kind of like work together a little bit. So it looks like they're going to be brother and brother going on a mission. I don't know if they're initially going to stop Black Manta, because Black Manta's coming for them. Like he wants to kill the whole family and like kill the bloodline. So it looks really good. I enjoy the visuals. I just underwater, but I haven't seen either Avatar, but everyone's told me they look great and the underwater scenes are great. So for like Aquaman and Little Mermaid, the new one, and Wakanda Forever, when they did the Namor scenes underwater, the one that to me just looks odd is Aquaman. Like the swimming looks cool, the way his hair moves looks cool. Like everything actually, besides the way they talk underwater, looks good. I don't like to say it doesn't look realistic because it's comic books, but it's weird not to see bubbles like when they're talking, because they're all they're metahumans or whatever. Obviously, they don't have gills, but they don't. I don't know. Aquaman has lungs because he's part human, but these humanoid people in Atlantis, I guess they just absorb the water, but you can't do sound on the water without bubbles. I don't know. I'm not like nitpicking it because I love the movie, the first one, but it looked like in Wakanda Forever they did a better job of showing that, and they didn't really talk that much when they were in the water. They did a lot of hand signals. It was only when they were like in that place really deep underwater that had no water, they all talked. And then Little Mermaid actually looked similar, but I haven't seen that movie yet. But so this leads us to the biggest item of the day, the Our Flag Means Death official trailer that dropped. Man, this trailer was so good. Another one I've only watched once, but I'm going to watch it again right now. I wish there were more people on to watch it with me, but when the live is done, I'll have it sectioned off. So if someone wants to just jump to this point, they can. So I'm gonna watch it and then probably scrub through it a little bit and see what I could find. Put my headphones in. Oh. Doobie-doo. All right. So have it over here. Move it over here. Whoa. Put it on the screen. Like that. All right, then I need this. Let's move that. All right, I think you could still hear me. Yeah, I could see it. All right. So we have the Our Flag Means Death full trailer. I'll play it. Should be able to see it, hear it, and everything. And even though my reaction got a copyright strike, but so did Aquaman. So apparently Warner Brothers copyright strikes trailers and trailer reactions. So I think we should be fine though here. Jay said, man, can't wait for more Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's gave you, 8 seasons of content. Yeah, there's a lot of seasons there. And yeah, I love that show. It's cool because Community and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, my Monday show, my Thursday show, I'm going to have those for a while. And I think when Atlanta is officially done, I'm going to shift Brooklyn Nine-Nine to Wednesdays and then find like a full-time Friday because Our Flag Means Death is 8 episodes, but it's only 4 weeks. All right, here we go. All right. So, my theory, which really isn't a theory, but it definitely seems like Steve, rushed back to save his crew, and in his mind, he's like, oh, all I gotta do is find Ed and we'll be happily ever after. Like, he thinks everything's gonna be good. And then Ed seems like he's kind of over him at this point. Obviously, he won't be forever, but it's like Ed just kind of moved on. He's probably not healed, but he's probably not hurting as much. And you know how it is. Like, if you don't see, I guess, your ex, you eventually get over them. But if they like randomly text you or call you, it just makes you feel a certain kind of way. Because in this series, I mean, we all know why Steve didn't show up at the dock. But in Ed's mind, Steve broke up with him. So imagine the person that broke up with you now chasing you. You're like, why are you playing head games with me? So obviously they'll get together and they'll explain it. They'll probably have to fight together or fight each other and something happens. But poor Steve, he was in there like, oh, we were shipmates. Like, shit was gonna be sweet. And Ed was like, we were former shipmates. Ah, poor guy. Poor guy. But they did show a lot. I'm just scrubbing right now. I'm gonna put it back up. I'm not gonna play any audio though. So let me just switch back. So I'll just scrub through. Looks like the revenge there. That's a really cool shot, to be honest. It looks like Roach and Steve just chilling in the lane on the revenge. It's probably when he first got there, I'm guessing. I'm gonna go fast. This is the image where I feel like he looks like Star-Lord, like Guardians of the Galaxy. Which is kind of makes sense because he's the leader of the crew. So it would be pretty cool if they had some parallels with that in the season. Oh my god. My latte is going crazy. All right. We have Blackbeard's wanted, 400 pounds. Imagine that guy was wanted today. It'd be like millions of dollars. This is a cool shot of his eyes. And if you see, when I get to other parts, it looks like all the crewmates that he basically kidnapped all have smoky something. And I'll show you when I get there, if I remember. So this part here, I have a feeling he's like shooting at Steed, like to kill him. I have a feeling I think he's shooting at Steed, but like off to the side. Did he live long enough to be called Whitebeard? Oh my god. This is an awesome shot though. This is where Olwande tells him basically that Steed's gonna kill him when he sees, Ed's gonna kill Steed when he sees him. And Steed is oblivious, obviously, because he thinks everything's gonna be fine. By the way, I love Olwande. He's my favorite character. Since episode 1, actually. New characters here. Okay. We got Frenchie in the back. You can kind of see his eyes are smoky like Blackbeard's were. His are smoky here, like Blackbeard. So it looks like he has his whole crew kind of dressing and putting paint on like he would. But then here, there's nothing. So this might be later when maybe Steed comes and gets them. That's a cool shot of Ed again. Steed looking like Star-Lord. Ed crying, probably thinking of Steed, guessing earlier in the season. And this is Ed breaking up a wedding or crashing a wedding. Izzy's here too, so I don't think they're simply just doing this because there's a wedding. There must be something deeper, but I feel like Ed is actually happy because maybe here he's feeling like if I can't be happy, no one should be happy. But then you see again, Izzy has black around his eyes. Fang has black around his eyes. Like everyone has black around their eyes, so it looks like that's the thing, as I said. We got Ed, he took the cake topper. That's the one that he dresses like Steed and then he colors in the other one to look like him. All right, this is where they make it seem like this is the first time Steed finds Ed. But someone on Twitter, this isn't my theory, I didn't make this up, said he's probably been following him around and Ed has just had enough. He's basically like, come on, man. And then new characters here. She is from, I think, all of Taika Waititi's movies. She was in Thor Ragnarok. I forgot her name. Oh, I forgot her name in it. But she was the one who worked directly with the Grandmaster. And then she was in basically everything that he makes. I forgot her name. Minnie Driver, I think. So they basically tell Ed that he dumped him. This is a cool shot. I don't know who they're trying to attack, but they're all lined up. This person, I need to know who he is. Now, this show is based on like historical facts, but obviously loosely based. So obviously Blackbeard was real. Steed is a real person. I want to know if this is someone based off of a real person or just a character for the show. Because he kind of looks like Humpty Hump from Digital Underground. Rest in peace. What do we got here? This was a cool shot. Damn, I wish I could get that freaking... Okay, you can see it now. That Izzy has a freaking peg leg now, and it looks like his foot is a horse's hoof. But this is kind of funny because Ed, I think he bit his toe off. Did he bite it off or cut it off? I think he bit it off, so he probably got gangrene. They had to amputate the lower part of his leg. But it's funny that it's wooden, and then it looks like a horse's hoof. And he kicks Steed in the stomach. We have a nice fight. Peaceful Olawande kicking some ass. I'm still trying to figure out who this is who fell in the water. You could see long hair, so it's not Lucius. I thought it was going to be like a flashback. Maybe it's Ed who jumped in the water. I'm wondering if maybe, and I highly doubt this, because at the end of season 1, Ed pushes Lucius off the boat, and we all feel like Lucius never hits water because the boat has like secret passages. But if he literally did push him into the water, maybe this is Ed like regretting it and jumping in after him. I highly doubt it. Shay said, Minnie Driver was in About a Boy, which is cool, but they canceled it way too soon. And Good Will Hunting. About a Boy, that sounds familiar. Okay. We got another shot of Ed. We have Fang banging two heads together. I'm trying to see, let me do it really slow. I wonder, no, it's not. I thought this guy here was the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean, the one with the messed up teeth, who is always with the skinny guy with the eye that pops out, but that's not him. But it kind of looks like off-brand versions of them. An explosion, cool, cool, cool. This is Steed. And I got this from Twitter because I wouldn't recognize a ship from another ship. But the good old Our Flag Means Death fans It said this is the revenge, and this is probably when Steed first gets there back to his ship and sees that it was demolished, and Blackbeard probably did this when he was upset. Go through. This is where I'm like, this is Guardians of the Galaxy, just from like the uniforms that they have, but they're like Guardians of the Sea, the pirates. They're all wearing the same stuff. We got Black Pete. This was cool. Really funny moment where he pretends he knows how to use it and then he doesn't. Here we have who's fighting. That looks like Steed and Izzy fighting down there. Scrub a scrub scrub. This is funny. Izzy pats him on the ass. I'm actually gonna try to play this. This is funny. He pats him on the ass. Yeah. I don't know why it's not working. Well, take my word for it. I'll do it in slow motion. Yep, pats him on the ass. And then he tries to swing over. I guess he's teaching him how to be a proper pirate. And he's failing miserably because he falls on the floor. This is, I don't know who this guy is. It looks like Luke Skywalker or somebody. Keep going. We have Spanish Jackie. She is great. Leslie Jones. Love her. She's so funny. So good in this. Good in everything. Ed with a bunny. Fang again. This one is, I'm really curious. I made a post basically saying like when you're stuck on the Demeter and Dracula can't get to you because they have all the garlic on them, and I'm wondering why else. Oh, excuse me, I had to burp. Why else would they have all this garlic around their necks if for some reason they thought like, or maybe they think that Dracula is on the boat or a vampire. We got Ed and Izzy talking. It's kind of odd because when they're in the dialogue, it sounds like Izzy's training him to be a pirate, which I don't know why. After like season 1, Izzy hated him, so I'm really curious to see what happens there. Steed still has the hole in his chest from when Izzy stabbed him with it. Unless this is a flashback, but I highly doubt it because Wee John is in his mermaid makeup. As he is, whoops, right here. Let me go back. Right here. It looks like there was a party, but when you get a little bit closer down, now they're getting tortured. Like, Jesus. Jim having fun. Then a battle. Can't have fun without a battle. I don't know who this is coming out of the water, though. Can't get a good look. Then we have... Who is this? The way they cut it, it is... Oh my god, I forgot his name. But I'm guessing it's him going across. Sometimes they cut it to be, you know, false, but I feel like it's dark and it looks too similar to not. And plus he has the little hair in the back, so it's got to be him. Steve with a gun. Funny, it looks like he's fighting with Izzy on his team, so, and he still has the little hoof, so he has his messed up leg. Don't know who that is, but basically the whole crew is there. Jim, Olawandi, Frenchie, Roach. Keep going. Beautiful. Whoops. And here was the first sighting of Lucius with Frenchie. So, not sure who this is with the legs, but they're sabotaging. I don't even know what to even think of this. Maybe they, I don't know. He's in like nice clothes too, so maybe they found him and he meets up with Steed early in the show. I think that kind of makes sense. And then they're on another island or on some land, so keep going. Whoa, and they pull this guy in. So, but again, I don't know who that is. There we go, a beautiful man again. And these, my two favorites. I love them so much. Olawande and Jim. They're so cute. Steed running on the water. That's actually a really awesome shot. Steed again. This is where he gets headbutt by Ed. I guess he wakes him up while he's sleeping. And that is it, basically. That's the trailer. Whew. I'll get better at this one day. All right. So we got 3 minutes. Not too many people on. So I don't know if anyone has any questions in these last 3 minutes. Feel free to ask. Oh, my pumpkin spice latte is sweating. But yeah, I think that's all that I really got. Let's see. Let's check out. Yeah, I talked about Flags, Aquaman, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Fall the House of Usher. Oh, I did also post my Mission Impossible 1 reaction to that movie. I watched that for the first time. That was September 1st. And it looks like for October 1st, I have a poll up on Twitter and a poll up on YouTube and on Patreon. And I think Ghost in the Shell is winning. So it looks like October 1st, Ghost in the Shell, the full watch along will be on Patreon. And then around the middle of October, it'll be on YouTube. Jay said, pumpkin spice, man, you're addicted. I am. I made this one, though. I have a coffee bar. Basically, it's coffee beans, French presses, pour overs. Then I have an espresso machine, like 200 pods. So I have the one where you can make the Nespresso. They call it a pour over, but it pours into a carafe. I have a lot of coffee. I love it. And then I have pumpkin pie flavor, vanilla flavor, caramel flavor, and English toffee flavor. But yeah, Mission Impossible is up now. So if you like Mission Impossible and you want to see my reaction, it's up. Whew. And that's it. I did it in under an hour. That's my goal. Try to keep it there. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Pumpkin pie is the best. I think it's my favorite pie. Whenever I make it myself, I sometimes I don't even put spices in it, like paprika or whatever. What is it? Is it paprika? Nutmeg? I don't know. I don't put it in. That's why I don't usually buy pumpkin pie from stores that are like in boxes. They're like too spicy, or I don't know. Like, they put too much of that stuff in it. You could barely taste the pumpkin. Oh, man. Let me go look at my lives and see how things are going. Check out YouTube. Going well. Twitch looks like it's going well. I'm actually surprised I'm able to dual stream on Wi-Fi because another week passes and I forgot to put the Ethernet cable in. Well, it's 7 o'clock. What did Jay say? Captain Holt, man, you need some merch. I was thinking about what I could do for Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That would be cool. Because mostly whatever I put up, it's basically just screen Sanctum. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy one that I did one like Mission Impossible. Like the first logo, instead of mission ... impossible, it's screen ... Sanctum. The Kind Assassin one is like Assassin's Creed. I have an Our Flag Means Death one up. Actually, I could go right now. I could quickly pop this up. Let me move this over. Do this real fast. All right, I'm going a little bit over, but I'll be quick. It is, I think you could definitely see this. So yeah, I have Oh, my freaking face is blocking it. Can I just... Yeah. Anyways, this is the main shirt. And then the kind assassin logo looks kind of cool. I think that came out good. Hats, mugs. I haven't purchased this mug yet. I only have this one. Where is it? Up here. That's the old one. I don't sell that one on there anymore. This is the Mission Impossible one. Simple, nothing crazy. This one I've worn in a video already. Then I have a hoodie. That's just the written logo. Actually, I mean, technically I designed this. It's just a cool font that I found that I can't believe is free. It's not like one that's only free for personal, but I really like how that looks. Then we have the one in the style of, I mean, you could tell what that is. It's Avatar. Basically, I took the Avatar logo. This is the Our Flag Means Death one. I tried to think of a good slogan, but right now it's only for women. I only have a women's crop hoodie, but I'll probably put a t-shirt up. Your screen is your sanctum. This one it took me a while to do because it's really hard to get a font that's really similar to the Our Flag Means Death one. So this is like two fonts in one because one of them had better capital S's. So it took a minute. This is, I guess, a water thing. So it has Screen Sanctum on one and then the SS on the other. But I think this is the old logo. I might have to fix that. Little hat. And then mouse pad. Screen Sanctum mouse pad and Kind Assassin mouse pad. Yep. Oh, God. And that is the merch. All right. Only a little bit over. So let me see. Jay said, I wonder, it's like a back Screen Sanctum. How I wonder if it's like a bat cave? Captain Holt, man, you need some merch. His character gets more great as the season rolls on. How I wonder. Oh, you're saying this is the Screen Sanctum a bat cave. Oh. Those yellow shirts. I've been trying to buy more shirts like that are not black, blue, or gray. And that particular color on that website, they call it butter. I was like, I want every shirt I make, I want in that color. It's such a cool shirt. Jay said, I might need to buy one. Hey, go do what you gotta do. I like the Kind Assassin mouse pad. I do too. I need to pick that one up. They don't give free samples even if it's your store, so I have to buy samples. But they're like, I guess it's at cost or whatever. Shoot, I'm going a little bit too far. I actually gotta get going to start dinner. So again, Jay, thanks for hopping on and chatting. Definitely message me in Discord later. One, you still haven't picked your September episode. Two, you haven't answered my question about that thing that you were talking to me about, that you some kind of merchandising thing or marketing thing that you said you needed help with. I just wanted more info. So I don't even know what's for dinner. We made tacos earlier, so I'm not sure, but excuse me, I definitely have to get out there. So again, thank you, Jay, aka Blips, aka all your other names, and everyone who hopped on to watch earlier. I feel like maybe before Our Flag Means Death comes back, I might do a live stream like dedicated just to that. So since that's on a Thursday, probably won't be able to go live on that Thursday. I'll be watching the episode. So we'll see that week. Jay said, I'll definitely shoot you a message, if not tonight in the morning. Sounds good to me. All right, I have to get out of here. So again, thank you all. Jay, I'll talk to you later. Enjoy your Thursday, your Friday. If anything new drops, I'll react to it. If not, I'll catch you all next week. Peace, guys.